I don't know how much longer I can do the American. I really don't. Like, I just feel like it's just too much. Like, I feel like I don't know. I just got so overstimulated in the grocery store for no reason. And I think the reason is because the work-life balance here is just insane. Everybody can normalize if they want to, but I don't know. This is not normal. It's not normal to work this much. It's not normal to be burnt out. It's not normal to always be tired. And it's just like everything becomes so overstimulated because I feel like we're just so burnt out, overworked all the time. Everything's go, 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 rush, rush, rush. It's just, it's too much. Like, I literally was trying in the grocery store. I was trying to buy groceries, and I got overstimulated because I'm like, what the f? Why are my groceries so expensive? Why am I paying $70 for 3 items? Like, this is crazy. And then I'm like, well, damn, I can't even really afford to eat out because if I eat out, it's not really much that you can eat that don't have poison in it, don't have bugs or some crazy in it. And then it's like, if you do cook, which I have to cook because I'm vegan, it's like you feel like you spend all of your time cooking, but it's really not that. It's just that you spend so much time working that every hour that you're not working, it just feels like, you know, I don't know. For me, I feel like I have a countdown almost in my head. Like, when I'm not working, like, as soon as I get off work, I'm like, okay, countdown to, you know, I have to this 25 minutes to get home, 25 minutes to shower. Like, I'm like literally timing out and scheduling out every little single thing in my day. And it's like, okay, we can normalize this productivity, all this stupid, but it's not that. It's not that. It's not that. It's not. This is too much. Like, it's too much. I just can't see myself doing this for the rest of my life. I really can't. Everybody else can, but for me, it's not for me. I'm sorry. I should not be this overstimulated over buying groceries. Like, I don't even want to eat anymore. I actually told myself today I'm only eating one meal a day. One good meal a day, that's it. One meal a day and maybe a smoothie, because I can't do the cooking every day and the cleaning up, having to cook and then doing all of that after working like 9-hour shift and driving 2 hours to get to and from. It's just too much. Spending 2 hours every morning trying to prepare myself for work. Everything just feels like a rush and there's not enough time for it, and I'm over it. So I don't even know.
Y'all acting like y'all got a choice. First of all, before I get to the complaining, before I get to the first world problems, before I get to the whining and, oh my God, I'm not doing this no more. This is not for me. I'm ready to move out of America. What do y'all think that life is like outside of America? Like, even if you went away from capitalism, because capitalism, although not perfect here in the United States of America, it could use some refreshing. It is the best system, and it's clearly working because we are the most prosperous country in the world, and that is just a fact. And that's why we got all the leverage when it comes to these trade deals and negotiations. But the fact of the matter is, if you worked in a communist socialist environment, you would still have to put in the same amount of hours and the same amount of work. So what did y'all think? What do y'all think is like outside of here? Like, do y'all think that people just have a retirement plan and that they get Social Security and that they just getting taken care of and all of that? The only real way for women, because I don't really see this from guys. Like, even myself, I work, I grind, and I know I get it. I am an anomaly when it comes to the love for the work or any of that type of stuff because I just love the hustle. I love the grind. I love being productive. But I was even looking at the Japanese system, which they live the longest in the world, right? And I was looking at that whole Netflix documentary. Some of y'all might have seen it before. But do you know that the Japanese people, one of the reasons that they live the longest in the world is because they stay active and they pretty much work their entire lives? And even when they get older and they retire and stuff like that, they actually still work and stay productive in order for them to give themselves lives and to have a sense of purpose, which is one of the reasons why they stay alive. And we over here, we backwards, we work backwards. And so instead of us, being productive in the roles that God intended for us to be, because even women, even stay-at-home mothers, stay-at-home wives, whatever it is that you want to label it, however you want to frame it, even them, they are supposed to be productive. They don't just get to sit home and drink wine all day. Now, granted, I think that the gender roles should be different as far as the productivity of a woman versus the productivity of a man, right? Especially in a traditional household. When you get married, I do believe that the guy is supposed to, in most instances, and that doesn't mean that the woman shouldn't work, but at some point, if y'all have children, it doesn't mean that she's not a mother and that she's working just as hard for herself and for her children. And then when the children become of age to where they can go to school full time, granted, if you're not actually got a part time job or anything like that, it doesn't mean that she's not still doing stuff. working for the family, maybe doing a side project or whatever. I remember back in the day, most of the guys that were super productive and had really, really great lives and had a traditional family structure, a lot of the women wound up becoming the teachers. They were the ones that were in the schools, and they was the administrators, and they was working in the front office and stuff, and they lived a really good life. And a lot of times they did that because that's the school that their children went to. And productivity is just a human trait. You're not meant to just sit around and do nothing. So the jobs that y'all are choosing to do and the lifestyle that y'all are choosing to do, the reason why you fucked up is for two reasons. One is that you thought that you was us. And so this is the life that y'all chose. And this is one of the reasons why feminism was bad for everybody. It was bad. Well, not necessarily for men, because we gonna do what we do anyway. We just make it easier for us to be able to decipher who's the chameleons and who's not, because we can see how y'all respond to being actually grown adults. And let's be clear, like, you are supposed to be a productive grown adult even with a man not a present or a man not marrying you. You still supposed to be a responsible adult. You still supposed to be able to take care of yourself. Now, that don't mean that you got to work 16 hours a day, 17 days a week, but you're still supposed to be a productive human being. However, the roles and the responsibilities that we're supposed to play is supposed to be different. And so when y'all decided that y'all wanted to divest from us, now you got to eat that, because we're supposed to be exchanging strengths for weaknesses. And so y'all think that y'all can go outside of the United States of America, which I will admit there are some places where your dollar stretches further, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to work, or you're going to just be able to sit around and do nothing. And they don't even want y'all there. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Like, they protest in different places, Europe. It's plenty of Mexico City. A lot of people went to Mexico City because they got remote jobs. They protesting y'all being there. They don't want y'all there because y'all are raising the cost of living by bringing your American dollar there, and that's only for people that can work remote. But most of y'all are not willing to take the jobs that they got over there because they make significantly less, sometimes about $15 a day. $15 a day. And in some countries, it's even worse. And so that's why y'all think that y'all go to other places and y'all dollar can stretch further. But you're not willing to adapt to the culture. You're not willing to adapt to the lifestyle. You're not willing to live a less lifestyle. You just complaining because you chose to do something for yourself that wasn't conducive. And the second thing that really hurts y'all is lifestyle. Is lifestyle. You don't necessarily have to work egregious amount of hours in order to survive. Like, she says she got 3 items for $70. What items are you getting that is basically $23 a piece, $24 a piece that's inside of the grocery store? I think people exaggerate, right? If you like, fruit don't cost that much, and I know that groceries cost a little bit more than it used to, but even back in the day, if we really just need to go back to the way that they lived and the way that they kind of put things together in the 50s, because they bought what they needed for that day, and that was it. They lived within their means and they stayed within their community. They didn't have to live in this big old place where it costs a whole lot of fees and you got to have a 2 or 3 and 4 or 5 bedroom house if it's just you by yourself or it's you and one other person. And they were willing to live and work in their communities, and they wasn't had these high expectations and these high lifestyles. And don't get me wrong, I do believe that there are some things that need to change, or there are some things that's more expensive, but I don't have to participate. Based off of my income, I can go and do whatever it is that I want to do, but I choose to live in a much, much, much cheaper house because I'm barely even there. I'm not there right now. I'm in a hotel, right? And so I'm barely even there. So the time that I am there, it is an ideal environment and experience for me, but I don't feel the need to have to raise my lifestyle up to my income. And so that makes it even more comfortable for me because I don't have the same pressures as everybody else. And when I do work vigorously, and I get to it because I enjoy what I do because I don't have the same pressures as everybody else. So we got to change our lifestyle. We got to change the way that we live. But y'all got to stop complaining as women for the things that y'all advocated for, because this is what you wanted. Always like to give credit to the content creator, regardless of whether I agree or not. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. T. Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off of life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.